Hey guys, welcome back. Stay tuned at the end of the video to find out how you could win a free airsoft gun. Today we're going to check out a smaller airsoft pistol that I got in a mystery box from Fox Airsoft not too long ago, one of their $300 mystery boxes. This is the ASG CZ-75 P-07. It's a partial blowback pistol. It's powered by CO2 and has a 16 round magazine. So let's check this out today. Let's open this up and see what all is in here. First of all, you get a little user's manual, very useful. There's very little to do actually on this pistol. You can't disassemble it. It's a fully sealed partial blowback airsoft gun, so not a whole lot of maintenance you need to do on it. Only things in here are really the mechanics and the hop-up adjustment and loading, and of course putting your CO2 in. So those are not terribly complicated things. Little bag of BBs, ASG, they're probably fine BBs if you want to use them. They're .2s, so just something to make sure your gun is operating and maybe go out in the backyard and shoot it a little bit. You do get a little Allen key. I believe this is a 1.5 or 2 millimeter. That's strictly for adjusting your hop up. So pretty simple. I'll show you how to adjust the hop up here shortly when we get to the pistol. And of course you get the CZ-75 P-07, the CZ P-07 from ASG. I'm going to start off by saying I have some mixed feelings about this gun, and you'll probably understand why here in just a second. Now, I think I got a little bit of a lemon. When I first took this out to test it out and see how well it shot, it was feeding a couple of BBs at once. It was a minor issue. I'm pretty sure it was probably inflicted by myself. I was running .28s on it, some Elite Force .28s, and I probably cranked the hop up a little bit. For some reason, it was making it feed more BBs than it should. It only should feed one, of course, at a time, but it's feeding 2, 3, 4 at a time. So it's probably inflicted by me. It's hard to tell. The second time I took it out, it was fine. Shooting, no problem, 1 BB at a time, and it was locking the slide back when the 16 round magazine was empty. So maybe it was a break-in period. It's hard to tell, to be honest, but I haven't really had that problem since. Now, I took the gun out twice and fielded it as my sidearm. Having a 16 round magazine, I was a little concerned. I usually have 2 or 3 magazines on me for my sidearm just in case. You know, some of my guns, I don't like to get super close. They shoot right around 400, and I don't want to be too mean shooting someone at 20 feet or so. So I did use this as my sidearm. Now for my holster, I actually have a Swiss Arms Adapt X holster. This came in the mystery box as well, and it's actually fitting this really well. I was able to tighten it down a little bit, and obviously it's going to sit on your belt or in your pant leg or something along those lines, depending on how you use it. This worked really well. I was actually very happy with it. And you just hit the paddle button there and it comes right out. Very solid, doesn't wobble, doesn't click around or anything. So this worked out really well. And it's actually a very comfortable, good weight to it to carry. The weight on this is really pretty substantial. I'm assuming all the internals are metal for the most part because it's a sealed up gun. I can't exactly take it apart and check. On the left side of the pistol, we've got the safety and the slide catch. Safety works just like anything else. A little red dot there to indicate your gun is hot. Push the safety back up and your gun is back on safe. Slide catch is just in front of that. It does catch the slide, but it's only about halfway back. That's why it's called a partial blowback. The sights on this, I really like the sights. They're pretty decent. It's not like you can actually catch them on your pant leg per se, but in a friction you can because it's an airsoft gun, not a real pistol. It's kind of a little U-notch. It's painted white and you have a little white kind of post. It's like a little square peg on the front that you line it up with. I really like the ergonomics of the gun, especially the grips. They're very rough, highly textured stippled grips. The front has kind of some checkering almost, and the sides will have kind of a rougher stippled texture. The back also has that same texturing as well as on the front. The sides up here where you might put your finger up here if you don't want it on the trigger, or if you're left-handed or whatever, it does have the same kind of stippling pattern as the grip does. It's very comfortable and very positive, very rough grip. I do like it a lot. Just in front of that is the accessory rail. I do like that it comes with this. You can put a light, a laser, whatever you want. I'd probably put a light on it. You know, if you're going out to a night game or something along those lines, or you're taking it to an indoor CQB field, a light would be fantastic for it. Additionally, the hop up, when you need to adjust it. You probably will out of the box. It didn't really have a whole lot of hop. I noticed when I tested it, 2.5s are kind of the sweet spot. 2.8s might be a little much. 2s just it really went pretty interestingly. But there's a little Allen key, and of course the included Allen key will help you adjust that right there. It is a pretty sensitive hop up, I've noticed on this, so it actually is rather interesting. Now let's talk about the performance of this gun, how I used it, and how it performed. Essentially, when I chronoed the gun indoors with a fresh CO2 cartridge, the speed was kind of all over the place. It kind of settled more or less right around 360, but it definitely had some low ones, and it definitely had several high shots as well. The first couple of rounds are definitely pretty hot. I saw them as high as like 460, give or take, so a couple of BBs, a couple of shots. I usually shot about 4 or 5 rounds before it started to settle down a little bit. After that, I saw them as low as about 320 and as high as about 400, but kind of right in the middle there, about 360 was where most of them kind of shot at. So definitely more of a field gun, maybe not necessarily an indoor pistol per se, but it kind of depends. If you go to an indoor field that'll let you shoot up to 360 to 400 feet per second, fantastic, have fun with this, but I can't say I've seen one of those before. I did use .25s with this on the field since I used 2.8s the first time and I had some interesting feeding issues with it. I did use .25s, something a little bit lighter the next time. And they were Elite Force .25s, so they worked pretty well. For the most part, it was fairly consistent. I got the hop up dialed in, took about a magazine just because it was so kind of touchy with the hop up. It just went up or down. I had to work to find that sweet spot where it just kind of sailed a little bit more. And I finally found it. And I felt like the hop was not always the most consistent thing on this particular one. Now it's hard to say if I got a lemon or not. This is the only one I've tried. I have to assume it is probably a little bit of a lemon in that hop, because the hop, even with 2.5s, it either dropped a little early, sailed up, or kind of went just perfect. Definitely the pros on this, for me at least, are the magazines. The magazines are really inexpensive. They're fairly small, and for a new player, if you're just getting a fairly inexpensive gun, it's under $100 for sure, no matter where you get it. It's CO2. You're gonna get at least a few magazines out of it, CO2-wise, not BB-wise. 16 rounds, you're probably gonna pick up a few more mags. Mags are usually around $10. They're really inexpensive, so when you're looking at this compared to other CO2 powered pistols, mags are pretty cheap. You go other pistols, 20 to 40 bucks depending on what you're getting. So they can be rather expensive. So for a little less money, and definitely more of on a budget for maybe newer players, something along those lines, or someone just looking to get someone else into Airsoft, this might be a good option as far as that goes. I know that partial blowbacks do have their place in Airsoft, and I do appreciate them for that. Not long ago I did check out the ASG PPS, a little Walther pistol, and I rather like that. It's a smaller gun, lighter, CO2 as well, and it worked really well for what it was, and I did like it a lot for that. In my opinion, I'd probably buy that over this. It's a fewer rounds in the magazine. It's more or less the same mechanical operation as far as being a sealed partial blowback pistol. And it's a little bit cheaper. It was about $20 cheaper, give or take, over this. Now, go check out foxairsoft.com. I've got a link in the description for this, the holster, and the contest you guys can go enter for a free Airsoft gun. So go enter that real quick. It'll just take you 2 seconds. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo 23. I'll be back soon with more Airsoft reviews. Thanks for watching.